and they started back in 2015, but he's since retired, and they live in Tennessee. You have Nashville and Franklin. They live in Spring Hill, Tennessee. But Carrie's brother had moved over to Daytona, so not Saturday. The Saturday before, they had been in St. Augustine, and they went down to see her brother and came Saturday to see us. And so we got to meet him for dinner Saturday and spend time with them. On Sunday and Monday, they were at an RV park there on 41 South Fort. So then they wanted to go to the dinner Tuesday night, and they decided they wanted a salad, so we went to Jason's Deli. And I've been having some health issues this last year. 2 years I had low iron, been getting iron infusion. Then I had these nagging cancers. I've had 3 cancers taken off this leg, and I got 2 more to go. I just got to have this thigh, and I have one on my shin. That's the one that worries me because he's hurting. So I got to have those taken off. But also, in the last few years, I had trouble with my esophagus. In the past, I've had it stretched. And so we're out at Jason's Deli, and being the bright guy that I am, they got me a big Reuben sandwich. And of course, I take a bite of that, and then all of a sudden, I'm choked out. So Lori and Mike and Carrie, they're enjoying a great meal, and I'm running back and forth to the bathroom, and I had to pack my meal up because I can't eat. And so we go home. And they left, and then finally I told Laura, I said, we got to go to the emergency room because I couldn't swallow, nothing. So we go to Coconut Point, and they at night. And he says, you get him in, I'll take care of him in the morning. So we had to make a drive, to Gulf Coast Hospital. Again, we got nothing with us. We had no idea, that we're going to be gone for the night. So we get there. They checked me in on the 6th floor, and I got Lori with me, and they're like, well, a policy is now no one can stay in your room with you. I said, it's midnight. I said, this woman's going to be 68 years old. It's midnight. We live in Bonita Springs. She's not driving alone. They said she can stay. So she sat in the chair and then on the couch later. So we went down, and it took me down in the morning, and were able to get me opened up. He said he had to force the scope down, and then kind of find out I had a growth in there. And he said, so that's why liquid could pass, but food would get stuck. So they did biopsy that, and thank God that came back no cancer though. So they took care of it. So I'm thinking, well, this is great. Now I can go home. And I saw the nurses buzzing all around. Now they say, you got AFib. Now I've had a lot of EKGs before my operation. I get cleaned up, and our friends, Mike and Carrie, Lori wanted to go out to dinner with our son and his family. So they're all out at a steakhouse. I'm having beef too, beef broth and jello. Yes. So, but they did say, go in the next morning, they said if they had to give me an echocardiogram, and they said if that came back clear, I could go home. And so I forget about modern times. I'm thinking I'm going to go down to some lab somewhere. And we're waiting and waiting all morning. I was able to get cleaned up and have some more broth and jello. But then they pushed a card in, this girl and did an echocardiogram, but then they won't let me leave till I got the results. But luckily, all that came back good. So I know it's a lot, I wasn't planning to tell you all that, but a lot went on this week. So I spent two days in the hospital, and I said next month I got 5 doctor's appointments. I got get the cancer, 2 things. I have to see the hematologist for my low iron, and now I get to see a cardiologist and a GI doctor. So I said something about this getting old. It's like,
You just become a member of the club.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought I was doing pretty good in hitting more time, you know. And people would just take two-lane roads, and that's where you had a lot of roadside attractions and all like that. But roads have always been important, even in Bible time. The Promised Land was divided up. When they went into the Promised Land, God had them get 6 cities of refuge. 3 were on the east side of the Jordan, and 3 were on the west side. And this is where if somebody had killed somebody accidentally, they could flee to one of these cities of refuge. That we'll do that lesson in the future. But one of the instructions that God made was that they were to build roads, had easy access. So anywhere in the Canaan land, you were to have access to get to the city of refuge. And we know that's one thing that made the Roman Empire so unique, that they built, you know, roads and bridges. Some stuff are still in use today after all these thousands of years. And I think that was God's providence, because he had the Roman Empire, you know, kind of subdue the world at the time, but that made a perfect backdrop for the spread of the gospel, because the apostles were able to travel freely throughout the Roman Empire and spread the gospel. Well, we had a